Okay, it's been a while since the last live session, and I will do it again, but for now, I won't be streaming anywhere, whether it's on Twitch or on YouTube, because my internet connection is not that good, and I think that there won't be anyone who watch the live session, so that I will just record it and upload it on YouTube. And I will continue my journey on SQL Bolt. I'm on the lesson 15 now, and there are only five lessons left, and yeah, it's pretty fun. Even though I think it's only covered the basics, right? So I will do another 25 minutes Pomodoro technique. And let's go. Lessons 15, deleting rows. When you are need to delete data from a table in the database, you can use delete statement, yep, which describe the table to act on and the rows of the table to delete through the where clause. Yep, delete from my table where condition what. Okay, it's pretty easy. If you decide to leave out the where constraint, then all rows are removed, which is a quick and easy way to clear out a table completely if intentional. It's pretty dangerous actually. I see. Taking extra care. Like the update statement from last lesson, it's recommended that you run the constraint in a select query first to ensure that you are removing the right rows, right? It's a very dangerous, especially if you are playing in production without a proper backup or test database. It is downright easy to irrevocably remove data. So always read your delete statements twice and execute once. Right. Exercise database need to clean up a little bit. So try and delete a few rows in the tasks below. Okay. This database is getting too big. Let's remove all movies that were released before 2005. So actually there are only 14 data. Like, okay, I don't really sure how big is the storage, but 14 data rows are too big for their memory. So let's go delete. Let's go delete it. Delete. Delete what? Delete from what is the table name? Movies where here I will name it where I'm here less than 2005, so I need to cut this one. Actually, I forgot how to run delete and update. Wait. My table where condition. Wait. Why it's not completed? Delete from my table. Delete from movies where year less than. So let's try to delete all of this. Why it's waiting complete query? Wait, table movies, right? Well, yeah, what's wrong with this? Should I Google it? I actually only need to click the solution, but why? We can use this, right? Less than 2005. So, what's the difference? I'm not sure. Maybe because the select statement before. Andrew Stanton has also left the studio, so please remove all movies directed by him. Oh, I feel bad for Andrew Stanton. Actually, I don't like naming the table with titles. I mean, like the uppercase and the first words. But okay, whatever. Where director equals to Andrew Stanton. Run. I forgot to play the Pomodoro timer. Okay, so just do it. 25 minutes. Think, can I finish this in 25 minutes? Hopefully, yeah. So I can move on to learn another things. Lesson 16: creating tables. Yeah. When you have new entities and relationship to store in your database, you can create a new database table using the create table statement. Create table statement with optional table constraint and default value. The structure of the new table is defined by its table schema, which defines a series of columns. Each column has a name, the type of data allowed in that column, an optional table constraint on a value being inserted, and an optional default value. Column data type, table constraint, default value. Another column data type, table constraint, data type can be integer. Column data table constraint. If there already exists a table with the same name, the SQL implementation will usually throw an error, so to suppress the error and skip creating a table if one exists, you can use if not exists clause. Okay. Table data types. Different database support different data types, but the common types support numeric string and other miscellaneous things like dates, booleans, and even binary data. Here are some examples that you might use in real code: integer, boolean, float number, real. More precise numerical data like measurement or factorial values. Different types can be used depending on the floating point precision required for the value. Character, num, cars, for cars, num cars. Text-based database can store strings and text in all sort of locales. The distinction between the various types generally amount to underlying efficiency of the database when working with this column. Yeah. Both the character and varchar types are specified with the max number of characters that they can store. Longer values might be truncated, so can be more efficient to store and query with big tables. Yeah, the time data. SQL can also store date and timestamps to keep track of time series and event data. They can be tricky to work with, especially when manipulating data across time zones. Yeah, I feel that. PLOB. Finally, SQL can store binary data in blobs right in the database. These values are often opaque. I'm not sure how to pronounce that to the database. So you usually have to store them with the right metadata to requery them. Yep, stable constraint. Primary key. I see. Not null check. Foreign key. Auto increment. We are not going to dive too deep into table constraint in these lessons, but each column can have additional table constraint on which limit what values can be inserted into that column. This is not a comprehensive list, but will show few common constraints that you might find useful. Primary key. For integer values, this means that the values will be filled and incremented with each row. This means that the value in this column have to be unique, so you cannot insert another row with this value. This column has another row in the table differs. Doesn't have to be a key. Cannot be null. It allows you to run a more complex expressions to test whether the values inserted are valid. For example, you can check that values are positive or greater than a specific size, or start a certain prefix, etc. This is a consistency check which ensures that each value in this column corresponds to another value in column in another table. So for joining data, right? For example, if there are two tables, one listing all employees by ID, another listing their payroll information, the version can ensure that every row in the payroll table correspond to a valid employee in master employee list. Here's an example schema for the movies table that we have been using in the lessons up to now. Missing table. I'm sleepy. Creatable movies, ID integer, primary key, okay. Title text, director text. Oh, it's pretty. Yeah, I mean, like, it takes a big memory, and I know why we should delete some of the data before. Because we're using text data type. Year, integer, length, minutes, integer. It's not float because we have second. What? Never mind. Create a new table named database. I forgot. Exists. Wait. Create table if not exist, right? I might have a typo. No, it's just like that. The name of the database is database with the following column. Column data type. Name. I don't want to use uppercase in the first word. String text like this, right? String. Forgot using text. Yaps. Version. Float 5, float 8, I don't really sure, but just try with float. Count and integer. Has no constraints. Okay, I think it's enough. Run. Whoa, I'm on lesson 17, altering tables, and there are only 3 lessons left. Adding column, alter table. Yaps. So I need to add another column. Column data type optional table constraint. You need to specify the data types. Of the column along with any potential table constraint and default values to be applied to both existing and new rows. In some databases like MySQL, you can even specify where to insert the new columns using first or after clauses. Though this is not a standard feature. Yep, I love MySQL. Removing columns. Dropping columns is as easy as specifying the columns to drop. Specifying the column to drop. Yep. However, some databases, including SQLite, don't support this feature. Instead, you may have to create a new table and migrate the data over. Whoa! Renaming the table. If you need to rename the table itself, you can also do that using the rename to clause of the statement. Actually, if you are using the Beaver, you can have a pretty good UI and just click and it's done. Okay, but let's try it hard way. Why we bother an easy way if you can do it harder, right? This database implementation supports different methods of altering their tables. So it's always best to consult your database docs before proceeding. Yeps. Our exercise use an implementation that only support adding new column. So give that a try below. Adding a new column. Alter table. Drop, rename, and add default value. I think it's not necessary, right? Alter. Why it's not turn blue? Alter table. Movies. Add. Spect. ratio with a float should be like this. Run. Yay. Add another column named language with a text, but there's no value in this aspect ratio. So default value, can I add some incrementing value? I want to give it a try, but I forgot. Wait, let's see. But actually I cannot do here because it's only support adding new columns. I should using real SQL actually. Yeah, just follow this and done. Add another column named language, alter table, movies, add language, text, boom. Waiting complete query. Is that the default for this language is English? Huh? I see default value. Yay. I want to do some incrementing value. Auto increment. Let's try this. Add out int increment. I'm so bad at naming columns. So it's an integer, and should I auto can I do this? Let's try this. Incomplete query. I don't know. I have no idea how to do that. Okay, just continue. And finish this. They are only SQL lesson 18, dropping tables. In some rare cases, you may want to remove an entire table including all of its data and metadata. And to do so, you can use drop table statement, which differ from the delete statement that in that it also removes the table schema from the database entirely. It's so dangerous. Like the create table statement, the database might throw an error if the specified table does not exist, and to suppress that error, you can use the if exists clause. In addition, if you have another table that is dependent to columns in table you are removing, for example, a region key dependency, then you will have to either update all dependent tables first, to remove the dependent rows, or to remove those tables entirely. Exercise, we reached the end of our exercise, so let's clean up by removing all the tables we have worked with. I don't know, it's pretty sad. Why? Why? Oh my, it's is there any lesson X? I'm so sad. I finally done this. Thank you guys. Thank you, Psychobolt. We have sadly reached the end of our lesson. Let's clean up by removing the table. Okay. I feel so melancholic, but you know, it's happened every time you are going to end something, whether it's relationship, friendship, or college, school, and many things, you know. But at least I have to be grateful that actually I have started this. Don't be sad because it's end. Be happy that it happened. Yeah, let's finish this. Perhaps sadly. Okay, I need to remove the movie stable. Oh my, I'm so sad. Where is Wall E2? There's no Wall E2 because it haven't released it yet. Okay. Double life exists. No, I don't want to remove it. But I must. I have a goosebump right now because it's so sad. It's gone. Let's go. Oh my god. So this is Japanese tutorial. So I will start recording again. So actually there are some disturbance actually, but yeah, happiness lessons sequel lesson X to infinity and beyond. Oh wow, I don't really sure how to describe my feeling right now because actually it's not really a big thing. It's only a basic sequel. Well, a basic sequel is very necessary. It's a good foundation for your journey in data related field. But I have learned this before, but not from SQL Bolt. But today I finished SQL Bolt, all the lessons. See, I start from here to down here, and you guys have been with me all along. Thank you very much. Maybe I won't do this if it's not because of you guys. Even though I'm not sure there are anyone who watched this video, but yeah, I just want to say thanks. Thank you to myself. It's pretty fun actually. I finished something that I'm not forced to do because I the one who want to do this for some reasons. I want to do this first to improve my speaking skills, to have a weekly video on YouTube, and I finished this. Oh wow! I think I want to read it. Sequel Lesson X to Infinity and Beyond. You have finished the tutorial. Yay! We hope the lessons have given you a bit more experience with SQL and a bit more confidence to use SQL. With your own data, we have just brushed the surface of what SQL is capable of. So to get a better idea of how SQL can be used in the real world, we'll be adding more articles in the more topics part of the site. If you have the time, we recommend that you continue to dive deeper into SQL. If you need further details, it's also recommended that you read the documentation for the specific database that you are using, especially since each database has its own set of features and optimizations. If you have any suggestions on how to make the site better, you can get in touch using one of the links in the footer below. And if you found the lesson useful, please consider donating for the PayPal. Sadly, I don't have PayPal to support our site. Your contribution will help keep the servers running and allow us to improve and add even more material in the future. So it's an ad. Okay, I will watch this. GoDaddy. Okay. Hopefully it gives you guys a more income because I watched the ad. I finished. I graduated. I should put some toga here. Actually, I have the hat. I don't know where I put my graduation hat from Bangkit. Okay, whatever. I think I will do another coding live session, but using Python perhaps. Yeah, I will be using Python at CodeWars, maybe HackerRank, maybe LeetCode, I'm not sure, but I just want to keep doing this because it's fun. Training my skills on certain language, solving some kind of problem, and that was fun. To keep my mind sharp. And yeah, let's try to continue to more topics. I think there are no any side note. There are no terminal, not terminal. There are no query that I can write down. It's just some text subqueries. Yeah, I used this a couple times, even though some people say that subqueries are slow. Actually, it's slow. I have some trouble when handling with big data and using subquery and return an error because it's too slow. Okay, the next is union, intersection, and exception. Union all, union intersect, except. Yep. That's done. I finished this. I think it's a goodbye. Should I give you any last speech? Not quite sure. But thank you very much for any one of you who watched this. It will be the last video. Maybe I will do some after speech video after finish this. But yeah, thank you very much for all of you who watched this video. Hopefully it gives you some value, even though I don't think it will give you any value. But yeah, thank you. It's it's for me. It's from me to anyone who are watching this. You are increasing my watch time so that I can add some ads to my video. Actually, never mind. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. Actually, if you hear this, you actually watch it. It's not use. I don't really sure how to end this, but I think my speaking skills is already improved a bit, so it's a good thing. And I will try to do another video so that my speaking skills can be improved more and more. And it's a goodbye then. See you in another video.